Hi, what's up, family? Welcome back to the channel. Just when you thought the drama between Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin couldn't get any messier, boom. Another bombshell just dropped, and trust me, this one is about to shake up the entire love and hip-hop universe. Picture this: Chrissy Lampkin, the woman who stood by Jim Jones through cheating scandals, financial drama, and public humiliation, just got slapped and thrown out of the house. And the person responsible? Oh, honey, you won't believe it. It was none other than Jim Jones' own son, Joseph Gua. Yes, the same Joseph who's been silently witnessing the chaos for years finally snapped, and Chrissy was on the receiving end of his fury. But it didn't stop at just a slap. Word on the street is that Joseph didn't just hit Chrissy, he straight up kicked her out of the house, leaving her standing on the sidewalk with nothing but her phone and a look of pure humiliation. Now, the burning question is, why did Joseph finally lose it? And how did Jim Jones react when he found out? Oh, the fallout from this one is going to be explosive. Stay locked in, because when you hear what triggered this violent showdown, oh baby, you're going to need to sit down for this one. Jim and Chrissy's relationship has always been messy, but buckle up, things just reached a whole new level of crazy. And this time, it's not just Jim and Chrissy caught up in the drama. Jim's son, Joseph, just made a move that no one saw coming, and the aftermath? It's about to be legendary. For years, Joseph played the quiet, respectful role, staying in the background and keeping his cool. But that all changed recently, and trust me, this wasn't just some random outburst. Oh no, there's a whole backstory to this, and once you hear what pushed him over the edge, you'll be shook. Let's rewind for a moment. If you've been following Jim and Chrissy's relationship, you already know it's been a chaotic roller coaster, from cheating rumors to financial struggles to that infamous proposal that never led to a wedding. Through it all, Chrissy endured, and Joseph? He stood by, silently watching his father disrespect her time and time again. But things took a serious turn a few months ago when whispers started circulating about Jim allegedly creeping around with none other than Brooke Bailey. Yes, that Brooke Bailey, the reality star making headlines for all the wrong reasons. And Chrissy? She wasn't about to let this one slide. Reports emerged that she and Jim had been fighting behind closed doors after she discovered messages between him and Brooke. And we're not talking about casual, "Hey, how are you?" texts. These were late-night "I miss you" and come through type messages. Yeah, it was bad. And Joseph? He saw it all. He watched as Chrissy confronted Jim, as Jim tried to gaslight her into thinking it was all in her head. He saw Jim conveniently schedule business meetings that just so happened to line up with Brooke's vacations. And let me tell you, Joseph was not okay with it. But it wasn't until Chrissy hit her breaking point that Joseph finally snapped. It all went down last week at Jim's house. Chrissy, furious over yet another sighting of Jim and Brooke, stormed in, and this time, she was out for blood. Insiders say she was yelling, throwing things, demanding answers. Jim tried to calm her down, but Chrissy? She wasn't having it. She reportedly started breaking glasses, tearing up furniture, completely unhinged. And that's when Joseph had enough. Sitting in the next room, trying to ignore the chaos, he finally snapped. He stepped in, stood between Chrissy and his father, and firmly told her to calm down. But Chrissy? Oh, she wasn't about to take orders from a 20-something-year-old. She got up in his face, pointed her finger at him, and said, "Hell out of it." And Joseph, oh honey, he saw red before anyone could process what was happening. Joseph reportedly slapped Chrissy across the face hard. Yes, you heard that right, Joseph slapped Chrissy. And not a light slap, insiders say it was. So loud that it echoed through the house. Chrissy stumbled back holding her cheek. In shock, and Jim, oh, he just stood there, with his mouth hanging open. And Joseph? Oh, he didn't stop there after slapping Chrissy. Joseph reportedly pointed toward the door and said, "Get the hell out." At first Chrissy thought he was joking, but Joseph, oh honey, he was dead serious. He reportedly walked over to the door. Opened it and said, if you don't leave. Now I'll make you leave. Chrissy was still standing there in shock, clutching her face, but Joseph wasn't playing games. He reportedly grabbed Chrissy's purse, threw it onto the lawn and said, that's your last warning. And Chrissy, oh honey. She had no choice but to leave. Sources say she stumbled out of the house, tears running down her face, and stood on the sidewalk in disbelief. And Jim, oh he still didn't say a word. He just stood there watching it all unfold. And Joseph, he reportedly closed the door, locked it, and walked away like nothing had happened. But here's the part that's got everybody talking. Why did Joseph finally snap? Why, after years of staying quiet, did he suddenly turn on Chrissy? Well, honey, I've got some receipts, and when you hear what I'm about to tell you, you're going to understand exactly why Joseph lost it. But hold that thought, because we're just getting started. Stay tuned for part 2, because the truth about why Joseph slapped Chrissy is even messier than you think. Oh, you thought part 1 was wild, honey? You haven't seen anything yet, because what I'm about to tell you will make the slap look like a love tap. If you're still recovering from the fact that Jim Jones' son Joseph slapped Chrissy Lampkin and kicked her out of the house, buckle up, because the truth behind why Joseph snapped is even messier than you could imagine. Let's pick up right where we left off. Chrissy standing on the sidewalk, clutching her cheek in disbelief after Joseph slapped her and kicked her out. And Jim, oh, he was still standing in the doorway, too stunned to even move. But the story didn't end there. In fact, this is where it gets even more explosive. According to insiders, Chrissy didn't leave quietly. Oh no, honey. Chrissy may have been humiliated, but she wasn't about to go down without a fight. Sources say that after Joseph locked the door, Chrissy started banging on it hard. Neighbors reportedly heard her screaming, "Open the damn door, Joseph, who the hell do you think you are?" But Joseph, oh, he wasn't hearing it. He reportedly told his father, "Let her scream, she's not getting back in." And here's the part that's got everybody talking. Jim just stood there and let it happen. Chrissy reported stood outside for nearly 15 minutes screaming and cursing at both Jim and Joseph, but when it became clear that they weren't going to let her back in, Chrissy pulled out her phone and started calling people. And guess who showed up? Mama Jones. Yes, honey, Mama Jones, the queen of drama herself, pulled up to the house in her SUV like she was about to start a war. According to neighbors, Mama Jones stormed up to the front door, banging on it louder than Chrissy, and when Joseph opened the door, oh honey, it was on. Mama Jones reportedly got right in Joseph's face and said, "Have you lost your damn mind?" Joseph reportedly fired back, saying, "I did what Dad should have done years ago." And Jim, still standing there like a statue. Mama Jones wasn't having it. According to insiders, she pointed at Jim and said, "You're really going to stand there and let him treat Chrissy like that?" Joseph reportedly cut her off, saying Chrissy deserved it. Now at this point, Chrissy was still standing outside on the lawn, sobbing and screaming, and Mama Jones, oh honey, she had heard enough. She reportedly turned to Joseph and said, "You need to fix this now." But Joseph, oh honey, he was not backing down. He reportedly told his grandmother, "Chrissy's been using Dad for years. All she's ever done is take and take, and you know what? Dad's too weak to stand up to her, so I did it for him." And that's when Chrissy reportedly lost it. She ran back up to the door and screamed, "I've been using him after everything I've put up with." And that's when the real tea started spilling, because Joseph reportedly turned to Chrissy and said, "Don't act like you're innocent. The first no Everything now, honey, when I say everything, I mean everything. According to sources close to the situation, Joseph had been sitting on some pretty damning information about Chrissy, and he was about to let it all out. Joseph reportedly yelled, "I saw the text, Chrissy. Don't play dumb." Chrissy reportedly went pale, and Mama Jones, oh honey, she was sitting there with her mouth wide open. According to insiders, Joseph had found messages on Chrissy's phone between her and a mystery man, and we're not talking about some flirty emojis. No honey, we're talking full on late night I miss you messages, explicit photos, and even plans to meet up behind Jim's back. And here's where it gets even messier, because Joseph reportedly knew exactly who the mystery man was. Joseph reportedly said, "You think you're slick meeting up with Dad's business partner behind his back?" Yes, honey, you heard that right. Chrissy wasn't just creeping, she was allegedly creeping with Jim's business partner, and Joseph had the receipts. Chrissy reportedly denied it at first, but Joseph wasn't having it. He reportedly pulled out his phone and showed Jim the screenshots, and Jim, oh honey, Jim was shook. According to insiders, Jim grabbed the phone, scrolled through the messages, and turned ghost white. He reportedly looked at Chrissy and said, "How could you?" And Chrissy, oh honey, she didn't even try to deny it. She reportedly said, "You've been doing it to me for years. I was just giving you a taste of your own medicine." Joseph reportedly fired back, "So you thought sleeping with Dad's business partner was the answer?" And Chrissy, oh honey, she reportedly looked him right in the eye and said, "Yeah, I did." According to insiders, that's when Jim lost it. He reportedly threw the phone across the room and screamed, "Get the hell out." Chrissy reportedly stormed out screaming back at him, "You don't get to play the victim now." And Joseph, oh honey, he reportedly turned to his father and said, "Told you." And Mama Jones, oh honey, she was sitting there with her arms crossed like, "I tried to warn you." But here's where it gets even messier, because according to insiders, this wasn't the first time Chrissy had been caught creeping. Oh no, Joseph reportedly had evidence that Chrissy had been sneaking around for months. He reportedly told Jim, "You think this is the first time, Dad? She's been playing you for years and you were too blind to see it." And Jim, oh honey, he reportedly sat down on the couch, put his head in his hands, and said, "I don't even know who she is anymore." But Joseph, oh honey, he wasn't done yet. According to sources, Joseph told his father, "You need to cut her off now." And Jim, well, sources say he's already talking to his lawyers. But here's the part that's got everyone talking. Who is this mystery man that Chrissy's been creeping with, and why was Joseph so involved in this situation? Well, honey, that's where things take a turn, because from what I'm hearing, Joseph wasn't just protecting his father. He was protecting something much bigger. And when you hear what it is, you're going to understand exactly why Joseph finally snapped. But hold that thought, because this story is far from over. Stay tuned for part 3, because the truth about Chrissy's mystery man and the fallout from Joseph's slap, oh honey, it's about to get even uglier. If you thought part 2 was messy, buckle up, because part 3 is about to blow your mind. When Joseph slapped Chrissy and kicked her out, everyone thought that was the climax, but honey, that was just the beginning. What happened after Chrissy was thrown out is even more shocking, because let me tell you, the fallout from this scandal didn't just affect Jim and Chrissy, it's threatening to tear down Jim's entire empire. Let's pick up right where we left off. Chrissy standing on the sidewalk, humiliated and furious after Joseph exposed her affair with Jim's business partner. Jim sitting on The couch head in his hands completely destroyed by the betrayal and Joseph O. Honey, he wasn't done yet. According to sources close to the situation, Joseph wasn't just angry about Chrissy's betrayal, he was angry about what it could cost Jim financially, because here's the thing: the business partner that Chrissy was allegedly creeping with, he wasn't just some random associate, he was reported one of the primary investors in Jim's real estate empire. Yes, honey, Chrissy wasn't just messing with Jim emotionally, she was messing with his money. Joseph reportedly told Jim, if this gets out, it's not just going to be embarrassing, you could lose everything. And Jim, oh honey, Jim was already on the verge of losing it. He reportedly got up, grabbed his phone, and started calling his lawyers, but Joseph, he was already ahead of him. According to insiders, Joseph had been doing some digging for weeks. He reportedly suspected Chrissy was involved with this business partner for a while, but it wasn't until he saw the receipts that he realized just how deep it went. Joseph reportedly told Jim, you need to cut ties with him now. If you don't, this is going to blow up in your face. And Jim, he knew Joseph was right. According to sources, Jim immediately called his business manager and told him to start dissolve any partnerships connected to Chrissy's mystery man. And honey, that's where things got even messier, because apparently the business partner, who's rumored to be named Freddie G, wasn't about to go down without a fight. According to insiders, Freddie reportedly called Jim the next day and threatened to take legal action. Allegedly, Freddie claimed that Chrissy had promised him mistaken Jim's business, and that if Jim tried to cut him off, he would sue for breach of contract. Yes, honey, Chrissy didn't just cheat, she allegedly leveraged her relationship with Freddie to get him involved in Jim's business deals. And now that the truth is out, Freddie is reportedly demanding his cut or else. And that's not even the worst part, because according to sources, Freddie is holding on to something that could completely destroy Jim's career. Freddie reportedly has video evidence of Chrissy and him together, and from what I'm hearing, it's bad. Freddie allegedly told Jim, if you try to cut me off, I'm going to leak the video. Yes, honey, a full-on blackmail situation. And Jim, oh honey, Jim was ready to fight. According to insiders, Jim reportedly told Freddie, if you try to leak that video, you're going to regret it. But here's where it gets really ugly, because apparently Chrissy already knew about the video and she was counting on it. According to sources, Chrissy reportedly told Freddie, if Jim tries to cut you off, drop the video, let him suffer. Yes, honey, Chrissy was not just cheating, she was actively plotting against Jim. And when Joseph found out, oh honey, he snapped. According to insiders, Joseph confronted Chrissy directly. He reportedly called her and said, you really think you're going to play my father like that? And Chrissy, oh honey, she wasn't even fazed. She reportedly told Joseph, I gave your father 15 years of my life. I'm taking what I deserve. Joseph reportedly fired back, you didn't give him 15 years, you used him for 15 years. And Chrissy, oh honey, she reportedly said, so what, he used me too at that point. Joseph reportedly lost it. According to insiders, Joseph called Freddie directly and told him, if you leak that video, you'll regret it. And Freddie, oh honey, he wasn't backing down. Freddie reported told Joseph, if I go down, I'm taking your father with me. And that's when things took a turn that no one saw coming, because according to insiders, Joseph reportedly called VH1 and told them he had a story. Yes, honey, Joseph reportedly told VH1 that he had proof that Chrissy had been cheating with Freddie for over a year and that Jim had known about it the whole time. Joseph reportedly told VH1. "You want a storyline? I've got one." And VH1. "Oh honey, they were ready to jump on it." According to insiders, VH1 is already planning a special two-part episode on the scandal, and they want Jim, Chrissy, and Joseph to sit down together and talk about it on camera. And Jim, oh honey, he's considering it. Sources say Jim is thinking about using the scandal to his advantage, turning it into a redemption arc to rebuild his image. But Chrissy, oh honey, she's not about to let that happen. CH reportedly told Jim, "If you go on camera and try to play the victim, I'm going to expose everything." And Joseph, he reportedly told Chrissy, "You already exposed yourself, but here's where things get even messier," because according to sources, Chrissy is reportedly working with Freddie to secure a separate deal with Bet, where they would tell their side of the story. Yes honey, this is about to turn into a full-on TV war, and Joseph, he's ready for it. According to two insiders, Joseph reportedly told his father, "You need to cut them off completely. No contact, no business deals, no phone calls." And Jim, oh honey, Jim reportedly agreed. But here's the part this story has everyone talking. Joseph is reportedly gearing up to file a restraining order against Chrissy and Freddie. Yes, honey, a restraining order. Joseph allegedly told his father, "She's dangerous. She already tried to ruin you, Finn. Next time, it could be worse." And guess what? Jim is listening. According to insiders, Jim has already cut Chrissy off financially. No more credit cards, no access to business accounts, nothing. And Chrissy? Oh, honey, she is livid. Sources say she's threatening to take Jim to court for emotional damages and is even demanding half of his business. But Joseph? He's not worried at all. Insiders claim he told his father, "She's not getting a dime," to which Jim reportedly nodded and said, "Let her try." But if you thought this was the end, oh, you're so wrong. Freddie is still sitting on that explosive video, and if it leaks, it could destroy Jim's career forever. So what happens next? Will Freddie drop the video? Will Chrissy take Jim to court? And can Joseph hold his father's empire together? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. Stay tuned, because if that video surfaces, oh honey, it's going to break the internet. Now, let's talk. Small Blue Diamond, did Joseph go too far by slapping Chrissy and kicking her out? Or was he just protecting his father? Small Blue Diamond, do you think Freddie will actually leak the video? Small Blue Diamond, does Chrissy deserve a piece of Jim's empire, or is she just playing the victim? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because trust me, when the next twist drops, I'll be back with all the exclusive details. Stay tuned.